Good afternoon. It's just coming up to 2 p.m. here on what day is it? I've lost track of days. It's Monday, the 28th of December
Bill.
2020.
Hi.
And good afternoon, Bill. And we are assuming that acero is going to turn up. He usually turns up at the last minute. Tommyue has arrived about 5 minutes ago. We'll have a quick look at the bracket for an update. The match that I started watching last night but couldn't watch the rest of it, and that's the result between Keith from Northern Ireland and Mr. Fox, and Keith won out in the end. Where the hell is it now? It's somewhere there.
Bill. Cobra vs Keith round 3.
I can't see the bloody result. That's how bad my eyes are with this bracket. Where the hell is the result? Good God. I mean, this is ridiculous. There it is. Keith won by 200 points to 176. And that is really the only result that's came in. We've got the match this afternoon. This one lost side match between Tommyue and acero. Tommyue from Germany, acero from Japan. And well, if that's the match in the next round, that'll be a cracking match between Cobra and Keith.
LS312.
That was the middle of the night, was it? No, that was right. There was a match at 2 AM or something. Yeah, that was the match between Chip Scary. Well, that didn't last long by the look of it. That's another one that bottled out. Must have quit mid-match then. It's only 38 points in the board to LS3. Anyway, this is a match we're waiting on. Acero from Japan, and of course this chat thing, I can't see who the hell has arrived in the lobby because it's covering up all the names. So the assumption is acero will arrive.
No acero yet.
It's just coming to the top of the hour. This might be a short stream, but it'd be unusual if it was. It usually does just turn up. It must be around midnight in Tokyo. Not assuming that that's where acero actually lives, but you know, the vast majority of Japanese people live in and around that area. It's a big city. So that room will be going up any second.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Acero's not here yet, so it might be short and sweet. It could be a quick one.
Bill. Hi.
Acero may well be a dark horse in this tournament if he gets to play, that is. Assuming he's going to turn up. In about the next few seconds, it should be up. There we go. And acero, right on the nail, has arrived, so let's get in. Get ready to go.
He's here.
Right, so we're going to have the lag obviously for the break. Acero in the room, waiting on Tommyue getting in, and that's acero's cue, so we'll know where he is. If I can get my bloody donut to work. There we are.
Taoist Nomad. Howdy.
Welcome everybody. There we go. So acero Oh, now I'm
Spill.
totally confused because the cues
No
look
easy
very
matches.
similar.
The winners here gets the losers of Cobra vs Keith.
Yep,
A techie.
it's only going to get
Overhead
tougher.
view also is nice Hugh. Pressing the X.
Yeah, I don't normally
Semi-pro
use it.
4. Yo.
There you go. There's your top-down view.
Taoist nomad.
Make the most of it because that's
Yes,
all
been
you're
telling
getting.
Hugh that for ages. Spill. Yo.
Well, acero wins the lag, so Tommyue put into break. I wonder if Tommyue was watching McClarkey's break. No, he's going to go with English to try and get up in the top right-hand corner. And he's left to 5. So acero, well, he's another one with a huge rating, 2,836. He made the most of it when the ratings were broken. So let's see how acero manages his cue ball. That's what I'm interested in.
Spill. His is legit though. Taoist nomad. Send me any follow up on that Wayne Wusiwishan.
Well, they'll be arranging a match, will they not? Basically. I think there's plenty of time to arrange it though. And would you believe it, I got a new...
Semi-pro 4. Not yet, no. I did speak to Steve but got ignored.
I got a new subscriber on YouTube, believe it or not, and it was Fluke. The expat that's left and gone to Shooter's Pool. I wonder why. I mean, I've never seen him on a stream, or if he has been, he's never said anything. Anyway, it's just one more towards that 1,000 subscribers. It might be take another 7 years to get there. So, acero into the meat of this first rack, and he's got a position in the 15 there where he can pick I think he can pick either of those 3 balls here. No, he can't.
Semi-pro 4. Fluke was speaking to you when I played Tommy.
Was he? I don't remember that. I don't ever remember seeing him in the stream. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, I don't know.
Taoist nomad. Fluke was on stream a few days back, remember?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember half the people that have been in it on the stream. He certainly hasn't been back
He
in
even
VP4.
doesn't remember my name.
No, I remember you now. Cupcake or something like that. So we have a
Taoist
possible
nomad.
break ball.
LOL.
A 7 ball is a break ball. And I think he's reluctant to take that 9 in case he was going to run into that 7, but don't think he would.
Semi-pro 4. You only remember important people face with tongue sticking out. Vince. LOL. A techie. He.
Good afternoon. All the usual suspects have arrived. Mark might join us in a minute.
Spill.
He's just come online.
Acero setting the CB loose alert. Stevek 1158. Afternoon all.
I told you you'd be here. Good afternoon.
Spill. Hi.
So here's the first crucial shot. Now let's see if he does a deep draw off this pack, because we know what happens if you get too much into this. See, he actually ended up going forward there,
Taoist Nomad.
dangerous towards the
70 odd break
scratch.
from Fox last night. What did you think of his streaming, Hugh?
Did he get us? Did he get us?
Semi-Pro 4.
I'll need to update the.
Tommy might as well come on chat here. Richard Jenkins.
I might have to update
Ola.
the.
Tommy Priska. Nah.
What do you call it? The high runs. Then I haven't looked at the stats, so. When did he? Must. I mean, it must have been close at the end, and if Keith must have pinched it with his last visit, then, in that match. So Acero has come through the first barrier. He's got the first rack, got the break, and he's sitting pretty nice here. There is one thing he might have to deal with, but if you look at it, that 15 and 2 are dead set. They cannot be missed.
Semi-Pro
So he doesn't
4.
need to move it.
Not being funny, Hugh. This chat speak is putting you off from speaking about the game.
No, I don't want to talk over it, but at the same time it's good for me that I know somebody said something, because there's many a time I've been doing a stream and then I look at the chat and I've totally lost what the conversation was about, because somebody's typed something and then it disappears off the screen and I miss it. So the run is 20. We know there's a dead set combo there, and I don't know whether he can get to that 11. I think that was the idea there. If he had just fell a wee bit shorter, he could get rid of the 11. But we know he doesn't need to touch those two balls, and he's already got the break ball, the 8 ball sitting there. But he's, because of the 11 ball, he's going to take the 15 into the middle. And then of course he might use the 3 ball or the 5, because he's leaving him up the table. And now he's worried about this 2. That's the one that's bugging him, because it's just awkward to get in there without getting involved with that 8 ball, and that's the one concern he's got here. Now, is he going to take the risk off this 10 ball, because he could stun across?
Both players are capable of run 150 out on this table.
Well, I said it the other day there that McClarkey may well have played his last shot, and then Albinari will run out with a
Taoist
69.
Nomad. Acero is for sure.
I don't want to put the mockers on it, but Tommy, you might have played his one and only shot. I mean, that's how brutal straight pull is in real life. You know, you break off, you lose the lag, you put into break, you break, and that's your shot. Back to your seat, and then pack up your cue and go home. That's how brutal. So he's taking care of the 2. Again, well, he's gone into the triangle, so that's a clever move there. Rather than taking a silly risk and trying to move the cue ball to get good in the 8, he's kept it in the triangle.
4. That would be harsh if Tommy's WC of only having 2 visits smile a face.
Don't even go there, Semi-Pro, because he will not need any sort of reminding like that if that happens. But anyway, as long as Acero stays at the table, it's on the cards. The run is 29. We're into rack number 3. He's taking a little nudge, going up the table. Now, well, he's got the 6 ball. That's not a problem.
A techie. I remember a story Oliver Ortman told me. He played against Brian Nithany once. Oliver was up 198, missed, and Brian ran out from 0 to 200. Tommy Priska. I had another match in El Aso, all fine semi. Face with tears of joy. Richard Jenkins. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the edge of falling in this time because you're mine. I walk the line. Semi-pro.
That's a Johnny Cash one.
So that was a good warm-up for you then, smile face.
Because you're mine, I walk the line. I
Richard
fell
Jenkins.
into a burning
Face with
ring
tears of joy.
fire.
Face with tears of joy. Me underscore Asm underscore A. Did Acero say something about the F on Wayne?
No,
Me underscore Asm
Acero's
underscore
a man of few words.
Also, hello all. Semi-pro 4. Tommy, you might as well go cook a roast, smile face.
Good afternoon. All the latecomers arriving. Still plenty of seats.
Tommy Priska. I enjoy my coffee.
We are
Taoist nomad.
we're keeping up the social
LOL,
distance
has you got
rulings
him
here.
started now?
We're all sitting 2 meters apart. We've all got our face masks on.
Taoist nomad. Yes, he told Semi about it in email. Semi-pro 4. My asthma, can I chat to you in game?
So the run is 37. We've got those 2 balls in the triangle. We've got the 4 just on the point, more or less.
One pocket slim. I think you are all sexy, beautiful people. Please don't try to sing Hugh.
Well, blame
Me underscore
blame
Asm
whoever it was
underscore
that typed that
Sure, give me 10
couple of
minutes to come
lines from a
online.
Johnny Cash song. I mean, Johnny Cash wouldn't have even been mentioned if I hadn't seen that text.
Bill. Hi John. A techie. Blame Has. He made Hugh sing.
Was Has there as well? I never even seen that. I never even saw who it was. Welcome everybody. Well, the run is 39.
Richard Jenkins. Has cashed it.
We've still not quite decided where the break ball's going to be. I don't know whether Acero has. The 4 ball is right on the point. Now Acero might have the same idea in mind here, because if he gets this cue ball in the triangle, he's going to have ball in hand in the kitchen, and it'd be somewhere up here. Probably no more like that. If I can get this bloody line to work. Hang on a minute. It'd more like this on the break ball. Well, that's not going according to plan, because this is going to be a make or break one here. This is tough. He's going to smack obviously straight into the side of the pack, but that's not the one we're worried about. It's the 4. And it's not there, and so the run ends in 42, and I don't know why he ended up getting there. So it's a reasonable first visit, but it could have been an awful lot more. And I'm trying to work out in my head where he went wrong there, but I thought the idea might have been that he was leaving the 4 there to end up in the kitchen, but it all fell to pieces. So Tommyue unexpectedly back at the table, or at the table for the first time, and well, he's got a job to do in reducing that deficit. Remember, it's the 1 loss side, so it's just a race to 150.
A techie. He should have had the 12 as a break ball, the 4 ball the key shot, the 1 ball before that the key to key ball.
Yeah. Well, I watched 5 minutes of Mr. Fox's live stream last night, and then I ended up being the only one that was there. Sylvia was there, and then she disappeared, and I was left on my own.
He didn't ended up well on the 4 ball. Semi-Pro 4. Seen quite a few matches online, and leaving a ball for middle is quite common shot to do. He just ran the white a little too far forward.
I mean, that's not a bad position if you're staying low on it to give you a much easier angle into the middle, because you're always going to hit the pack. But it was I don't think I've seen many in this tournament though actually do that. It would have been much better if he could have landed back in the triangle with the cue ball in the last shot, and then it would have been much easier. But anyway, that's over and done with. Tommyue, what's he done here? Because this doesn't look too pretty. He's got the cut and the 3. He might do a little stun into those 2 balls, although he doesn't need to. But
Semi-Pro 4. Real matches online.
Yeah. Well, everything looks pretty good here. Again, the problem, this is a problem where
the perfect end pattern is most of the time a triangle.
This
ball 3
here,
shots in a triangular pattern, where you only need to play stop shots.
That would be the break ball, but this is a problem. Again, it's a similar problem to what Acero had in actually finding a way to get to these. It's going to be this is going to be a problem here, unless he uses the 6.
Been watching him lots. Awesome player.
So we'll see how Tommy gets to dealing with this, because he may well have to use the 6, or that 2 is very low in the pack. Not the best place to be playing the break shot from. So he's got a wee bit of a decision to make here in how he deals with those 2 balls. I mean, if he can pot the 2 with the angle he's got, and while he's drawn back, I thought he might have been better to try and sneak around the corner here to this side and pick the 11, the 13 from there. I would have thought that would have been a better plan, because the angle he had in the 2,
Vince,
he could have ran off there
man is
and
not
down
that
here.
Good. He only won 6 world championship.
Yeah, that's pretty poor. Yeah. Well, this I think he's tried to get there this time, but he's still short. Well, he's not even looking at it, so the presumption is he's played directly for the 4. So he's running out of options here, and this run could end abruptly if he doesn't get something worked out. And he's dead straight in the 6, which is what he didn't want. But the only thing he can do is roll through, and if he leaves it slightly short on this 11, he can run the 11. He wants to be about there. Well, he's trying to get on the 13 again, and I think he's just got there. And that's worked out not too bad, because I was panicking for him there. I'm convinced he can see it. Surely he can get there. Yeah, now it's all wrong. He wanted a thinner contact in the 12, and if he'd brushed off that, he would have been on the 12 into the corner. He's hit it thick and just pushed it, and now he's going to have to dig something out here. I mean, that 12, I mean, I'm convincing myself that 12 cuts, that's really too tough. So he's called the bank, I think.
One pocket slim. Only Hugh can make straight pool exciting. Love your streams.
Right, well, that has to be down as a failure, by Tommyue.
Vince. J/K6WC on 14.1. His YouTube channel is great to watch.
So it's only 13, and once again the question is, how many will it be by the time acero's finished here? Well, he's been unlucky there because he's hit that full in the face, and I don't think acero's daft enough to try the cut. I think he has got enough common sense to realise that that's nailed to the rail, and is far better just to play the safety. How many people would have been enticed in trying to do something silly with that ball when it is more or less on the rail, give or take half a millimetre? So he's done the right thing.
Slim. No one.
But I think Tommyue, if he can get this right, he can try and get back to the pack. And that's a good shot.
Not me, it's about percentages.
That's good. And I think acero can't punch the 10 away, because that would have left him an easy safety. If he does, he's going to punch the 2 as well. Well, he's taking that risk, and he's given Tommyue another reasonably easy safety shot if he can get the weight right. Now this is where he has to be careful. Is he going to be using the 10 to try and come back behind the pack, because he's getting less and less room to work with? And that has, I think the 6 might entice acero here. He's looking at the pack, but the 6 ball is there, and obviously he has to watch he doesn't run straight across the table into the middle pocket here.
One pocket slim. Cat and mouse
And
now,
well
and who's
there.
going to take the risk?
Well, it was always difficult to get back behind the pack and not leave something exposed, and the 6 ball has given acero another start to build on. What is it, a 31 point lead at the moment? And Tommyue's visit really needed to be, 20 odd, 30 odd rather than 13. So every ball is on, even that 9 ball, I think. Well, he can get that 9 ball right now, because it's in theory a blocking ball. It's not set as a combo, so he has to get rid of that. You see, the trouble with that is if you don't get rid of that 9 ball as it is now, when you've got a perfectly good chance to do it, you might never get a good chance to lie nice on the 9. He was on it and he's declined it. He's got an option off the 13 there. He could have ran through it. He hasn't done it. So let's see what happens there. It's the only slight issue on the left hand side. Everything else is open. Now he's gone up the table. If he's gone up the table there for that 9, he's gone too far. He's still got the 7. Will he get good on that 9 again? And he's got the 14 ball is being left, so that may well have been nominated as a break ball. So he's got to get up the table. Now you can take the risk now off this 8 ball and just draw back.
4,8 into 9/12.
He's got to be on a ball if he tries off this 8 to come up the table and go on the 9. I mean, he could try and stun across. He's got a slight angle he can make here to stun into the 12, and then he'll be on the 9. But if he doesn't deal with it sooner, as I said, he might not have as good a chance to get on it. He can deal with it now. And then he's probably going to be on the 8.
One pocket slim. Anyone know what happened to Martin /tin 0000s?
Ah, he's been back in the
Thanks.
lobby last night, I think. I think he was online last night. So we're getting to
Me underscore as
another
underscore
critical
a.
point.
He told me not to tell you ops. Winking smiley.
Right, so he's just inside the 12, which is a good angle, just to run forward to get parallel or slightly to the right of the 14. And he's gone parallel, and he's gone slightly to the right. So now it all hinges on the pot. It's nothing to do with the cue ball hitting the pack. It's going to hit the pack. It's the pot that matters. And it goes. And it's a nice gentle pace without blasting them. Okay, there's work to do, but he's got a ball and he can start working. If he finishes, no, I think he's gone dead straight. He can pinch a bit of this. No, maybe not. He's dead straight. I thought he could maybe pinch a bit just to brush something there.
One pocket slim.
Right.
You better, or he'll come over there and straighten you out, K.
Well, Stubb must be in bed because he hasn't been in. Now, I can see that there's problems here, because once again he's just running out of balls and he's running out of options here. Now let's have a look at that once I've had a drink. I don't think there's anything set, but we'll have a quick look just in case. But I don't think the 12 and 1 are set anywhere. No, they're not. There's nothing set that side and there's nothing set there, so he's got to get into them one way or another, but the options are not very good.
Me underscore as underscore a. He started a new job ops. I think he is quite busy is all.
Yeah, he's in trouble here. Yep, he's gone way out of shape. He's looking at the kick, and that looks good to me. He's got to hit this full in the face if he can for that 13 to go in, but he can't hit it hard. That's a great shot because the weight is perfect. He gave it every chance to go in. Now that's the rescue shot. He's still in trouble and he's not got a shot. He's going to have to try a far-fetched combo here from the 4 on to the 8. The run is 20, the lead is 52, and Tommyue, if he gets a chance, is going to have to score more than 13 on his next visit. I mean, that 2 will cut, but he's in big danger of scratching if he went for that. Now, he hasn't called anything yet. Is he looking to try and... Surely he's not trying to cut that 4 past the 7. Still nothing called, so he's still thinking.
One pocket slim. Thanks. Confirmed. That's what Simon said as
That's
well.
going to escape, so
Martin is a good man.
the run ends in 20. Tommyue has a start, but again, unless he does something, he's not going to have many more balls to choose from here. Well, that's nudged 1 out, and that's also possibly opened a 12. Let's have a look. I think it has. The 12 is there, and once it goes, the other two are okay, but the 1's in the way, so there's a bit of picking off here needing done. If he was dead straight in the 4, he could kill the cue ball and land in the 1, but he can't. He could try and run through and come back across for the 1. If he went too far, he would have the 6 as a bailout. Let's see what he does. Well, he's nudged into the 1. He's got the 6 as the escape route. Now he's going to have to get good on this 1. He might be able to kill for the 12 though. I think he can do that. He's dead straight. So he is absolutely bolt straight again. Does he want to try and pinch a bit? Just to, he can brush the 8, but he might have to try and get on in the next ball, because he's only dead straight, so he's not going to have a shot. He's going to have to try and pinch a wee bit here just to try and leave a ball on, and that's got the job done there. Now it's worthwhile, I think, trying to come around behind the 10 here. Well, he's gone the other way, so he's going to try and drop behind the 10 or nudge into the 3. But where's the break ball? It could be the 1, it could be the 2, but they may well move in a second. This is a vital stage in this rack, because Tommyue has to get into the next rack, and that's not a good angle. I mean, the way it's going, he's just going to come square across the table and have no shot again. From here it doesn't look as if he can get anywhere good on these. A bit of inside, and that has done the trick, because that's knocked a 2 into play. It's down at the corner of the pack, but it's better than nothing at all. So here we go. Got to watch the pace in this cue ball here, and you might want to try and help this around the corner slightly, the cue ball, to bring it up the table and over to the left slightly. He doesn't want to just go straight up the table. He'll probably end up straight in the 2 ball and have very little angle to work with to get into the pack. But meanwhile, he's got the cut itself to deal with, which is not a gimme. Still trailing by 43. That needs to bounce just for comfort's sake, and that is pretty good. But now that you look at it, I mean, I think he'll struggle here. He'll struggle here to get much out of this. Looking at that, he might just clip it and no more. He might be going, trying off the rail. I don't know whether he can hold off the rail and get into the back of it.
Tommy usually plays fast, but he spends a lot of time on aiming in this tourney.
Well, it looks perfect, but the more you look at it, it's going to be thin to skim the. I think he's going to struggle to hit the pack. In all honesty, looking at it, look at the gap and look at the cut angle and where the cue ball's going to end up. He might just skim the 13 and nothing else. The question is whether he skims it enough. Well, he has caught it. That's a lot better than I thought it would end up, but he does have a shot. He's looking at the 14 there. He can sort of get to it, but it's probably easier to get the 12 and then start the work from there, because he's got a long road to go. the visit is only 9, and he's still trailing by 41 points, and he needs to eat into that at this visit. Now of course he's got the angle there on the, well, it's either the 11 or the 13 ball, but I'm not zooming in to find out. I think it's the 11. I think the 13's down here at the bottom. He could you know, try and nudge things, but he can take the 8 if he can see it. He can do a little draw off it if he wants, just to nudge things. Or basically improve the situation, because they're blocking one another, these balls. So he needs to free them a wee bit. He could pot the 3, he could land in the 6. I mean, he's got choices here, but once again he's gone dead straight. He can take the 4, it's fairly straight, but he's also then got another issue with this 15 and 1, which from the top end of the table he'd be able to pot a ball down here, but he's well away from that at the moment where the 5 and 8 are. So there is a lot of clever thought needed here to get this rack scene through, and we've got that 12 ball very close to the rail. Right. Is he trying to draw across to the left for the 7 ball? Well, he's more or less on the 7, and this will certainly nudge something, but that's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to blast this like it's the last shot he's ever going to play. It's all about just getting the cut. The cue ball's going to nudge the 4. He doesn't just want to nudge this safe to the rail. I can't see him not being on a ball if he just lets this go forward slightly rather than drawing. He'd be very unlucky not to be on anything. And that's not bad. In fact, that's pretty good. If he can get the 13, then he should be fine, because then he can come off the rail and out for the 8 or the 5. But, and I keep saying but, this ball here is the worrying ball, that one. And that can certainly be potted from this side if you're up table, because that way it'd be a lot easier than trying to pot it from here and just maybe pushing it in there. You can easily catch the knuckle, although it's away from the rail slightly. But that, I see, this is what I talk about. I mean, all the time you're at the table and you're concentrating on what's here, that 12 ball is still in the back of your mind, because you know it's there, and as long as that ball sits there, it then hinders your progress. It hinders how you're going to get out. If you'd taken care of that early on, then all your focus is on where the business is. And all the while you're leaving it there, it's still a troublesome ball.
A techie. In Phil Capel's book it's said that balls near the middle pocket should be taken care of as first thing in a new rack if possible.
I don't care where the ball is, it's there. I mean, but it just bugs me, the fact that it's sitting there. It must be bugging him, because he's running out of balls again. He's back in a situation where this could all just fritter away, and and die of death this visit, all because of that 12 ball. And of course now he's in a situation where he's got the 13 ball. He's going to take either the 1 or the 15 to get up table.
A techie. He has a chance early in the rack to play it.
Yeah, and I go with the philosophy, blocking balls and awkward balls up table. If you've already got a break ball in place, then if you've got 3 or 4 balls up table, then you need to tidy them up. You might want to leave one as a last ball to get to the break ball, but you can't have a lot of mess up the table, and you can't have that 12 ball continually sitting there when you're down to the last 2 balls. Now he has to get, if he's going to go for it now, which he has to, he's going to have to get right on it. And now this makes getting on the 15 a lot more difficult, because yes, he has to cut the 12. He's going to go side rail and back out. And if he doesn't get this right, he could do the numpty shot and just go straight into that opposite middle pocket here. So if he draws back off it, he can go above the pocket. This is the thing he might be doing when he's playing the cut. If he comes back that way, he's got to get out to here, something like that, so he can hit the pack. But see, that's why he's decided against it. So now he's got nothing, and that's going to be end of visit.
A techie. End of break.
And I rest my case
Yes.
as far as that 12 ball goes. It should have been, that 12 ball should have been gone 10 minutes ago, or else he wouldn't have been in this situation. Now he's going to have a blast and do something stupid when he should be playing safe. You pot the ball, right, and then you just play safe. You don't try and do something crazy and change the laws of physics. Just keep it tight. There's the one thing, and this here has to be paper thin, cigarette paper thin. Right, he's missed a pack, no damage done, he's lost a point, but everything's safe. And now acero will probably just drop into the head of the pack, which will then generally give Tommy a bit of a problem. Well, that's gone wrong. He's left him a bank if he wants to take the risk, but other than that it's pretty safe. But I don't think he wanted anything going out into the open like that. There's a teaser there for him. Now does Tommyue take the bait?
One pocket slim.
I think he will.
So many good players. The final will be epic.
I think he'll take the bait here, because that's a good bank, that 1 ball. It is a very good bank. As long as you just play at a nice medium pace. I mean, it'd be very unlucky not to go in, as long as you just pick that line. So the bank's been called.
Stevek 1158. Can you pass turn after a foul?
No, I don't think. In straight pull. Well, he's missed it. And he's left acero a couple of shots, but I don't think he had much of an option there. I mean, it was a good ball to bank. But now he's in a similar situation again, where he's chasing acero's tail, trying to get that deficit down. That visit there was 23, or his last visit, and acero's going to pull away again. But I think there's been a lot of players where they've not, they've been struggling to find a shot, and the simple shot a lot of times is just to run off the side rail back into the pack if your opponent's left you on the pack. And even if you don't get to the pack, you're only giving away a point, you're only losing a point. but you've not done any damage to the pack. So acero on what's he on, 67. And this is maybe going to, it's looking very likely at the moment, unless Tommyue gets right in and makes a score. It's just looking like it's going to be a similar pattern to quite a few of the matches where, you know, one guy wins the lag, puts the opponent in to break, and then they come in and get a decent wee run, get a lead. Their opponent can't reduce the deficit big enough, or small enough I should say, and then you're back in and just adding to your lead. And all the time, that's happened in about 4 or 5 matches, and it's looking very likely to be the similar thing here, unless Tommyue gets another visit and scores like, you know, 30 odd, 40 odd. He's going to have to though. You know, 20s don't get the job done. But we keep harking back, or at least I will, to the choice of shot and dealing with problem balls. And that 12 ball, it was just annoying me all the time I was watching that rack. And if you don't immediately become aware of the situation to have it dealt with sooner, then you may well regret it, and he did. In the end, he ended up bolt straight on it and had no shot other than potting it. And this other one, you know, I'll tell you something else, that 2 ball has to go because it's tight in the rail. I mean, that's pretty tight, and you've got to get that sorted. And acero's just dragging the pace off the cue ball there. And can he see the 2? Because he's got the 13 right on the corner of the pack. It's right on the point. And that 2 from this angle is not a gimme. So it's going to be the 3 ball, but he's going to have to get right onto the rail here. And he needs to miss the 3. Well, that's still okay, but I'll tell you something, he's got to get this flush. Even though it's a bigger pocket, he's got to get this flush. He can't bump it into the rail. And has he gone far enough? I think he could have done with a wee bit more angle, but it should be good enough. And the cue ball's running back into the pack, and he's got nothing. He's stone cold locked onto that 1 ball, and he's got no shot. Well, there you go, there's a reprieve for Tommyue. That's what can happen. If he had a bit more angle, it might have been better. But when you end up in the meat of the pack, cue ball took a spin, ended up back in there, and that's it. No shot. And Tommyue, well, he's got another bait ball. Is he going to take the bait again? And this simply has to go in. He cannot afford to be leaving acero coming back to the table with a free go. It's got to go. Acero's visit there was only 14. And now he's got what seems to be the 13, no, it's the 11. He has to be careful here as well, because this cue ball is heading towards the 6 on that top rail, and he's hoping to leave a shot up on that top rail next. unless he wants to try and come around. He doesn't want to block himself. See, he's ended up like that, which is, again, the little voice in my head starts telling me you've got to be careful where this cue ball's going, because you can end up having to play a combo. The alarm bells start ringing for me when I see somebody with that type of shot. You know that's where they want to go, and when there's another ball there you run into it, you can easily just fry yourself onto it and have no other shot. But again, it's got to be, I think, well, he's looking like cutting this and trying to come in. I thought it would have been easier to draw, but anyway, he's going to end up with nothing, is he? Well, he's got a cut in the 4, and that is about it. He's got a cut in the 7. Neither of them are ideal, and once again this is threatening to peter out before it gets started. He's struggling to get in control here, and that's always a danger sign, especially when all he's got on the board is 4 from this visit. He's got to get things under control. Now that's a bit better. Even from there, he's on the 9. He's on the 4. Is he on the 7? That's a bit tight. Let's have a look. Well, from there, that's too tight to be risking trying to pot that 7 from there. And again, he's got to make sure he gets this cue ball out into the table here. He needs to come back off this, I think. Does he want to run around the corner? He's got to get in a good position to have a shot. He's come back. And now, how is he? He's a wee bit more angle, but he's got to be on at least a 14. But it won't be an angle that's going to take him into those balls there. But from this side, it's narrow to get on the 15. So this isn't set in stone, this rack, yet. If he's on it now, that's a lot better. Although it's a potential break ball that's going to go, but he has to get these nudged open, and that's a lot better now. And he's also right at the head of the pack. He's got that 7 if it comes to it, or the 2 at the back of the pack, which is never great, but it's going to disappear. So he's 33 behind, and he simply must get into the next rack and get himself settled on a little run here to make some sort of indentation in this score.
Is the 5 on the line of the rack?
Let's have a quick look. Aye, that's encroaching, so that's dead and buried there. That's no good, and those 2 obviously are in it. The only one that's, adjacent is not ideal where that is, but again, it's a good break ball if you're here. If the cue ball was here, that's perfect. You can pot that and the cue balls get into them. But
Vince. Yep.
It's going to have to be 5 down the table here. He's out of line again. This is a toughie. He's going to brush the 15, I think. He's just going to clip it, unless he's going to stun it or whatever to make sure, but he's got to just worry more about the pot than how these balls are going to end up. And that'll do. He's got a shot. 15 still in the pack. In fact, I'll tell you something. Again, if he's keeping his head screwed on, the best bet is to, if he can pot this 15 and leave the cue ball in the triangle, just kill it stone dead, then he's got ball in hand, and he should be fine. Now let's see if he's thinking here, because it's a lot easier with ball in hand to get that line to make the hit in the pack than it is to try and run through and find a good line on this 7 ball. Well, I don't think he was thinking, honest to God. If he had been thinking and killing that cue ball in the pack, he had ball in hand in the kitchen. Now look at where he's sitting. Ball in hand here, run it into the head of the pack, and now he's having to try and work miracles.
LOL, he was listening to you and getting confused, tongue poking smiley.
Oh dear.
Vince. He was trying to kill it but failed.
Yeah, well you have to go through with a shot. You know, a little punchy stun and that's it. And you've killed the cue ball stone dead. Now he's got nothing. And that's annoying, knowing that it was so simple to leave yourself the ball in hand option, a much easier shot. Okay, it was from distance, but it was much easier than trying to get through good on that 7. Now he's going to run to the long grass. Now hopefully he's looked at the pack to make sure that there's nothing on. There's nothing on there. Everything looks fairly safe. So it's just another visit of 14, and there's still a deficit.
Pocket slim. Brutal game. It's why I don't play it. Respect for those who try.
Well, that's a good shot. That's an excellent shot by acero. That's the one that I think creates more problems for people than they would like to admit. If you have your opponent playing from off that rail or just on it, it puts so much more pressure on them getting that thin edge, especially in straight pull, where you're trying not to nudge balls into play.
Bedhead_sweat. You would get the hang of it quickly enough. Slim smiley face.
Right, well, I think acero is having a good look at the 9 ball. I presume that's what he's looking at, but he's also maybe looking at a possible combo here. He's trying to convince himself that 6 ball will go, and I think it will. I think he can just hit that 1 ball full in the face, and that 6 will go in. It's got to go in. Now he's looking at something totally different from what I'm looking at. Well, the worry about the 2 ball is how's he going to get the point on that, the hit point on that 3 ball, because there's no ball going to the 3 ball. Why is he called the 2? There's balls blocking the path to get to that 2. To me, that was a crazy shot by acero. That's the dumbest shot I've seen him play, plus he scratched.
XZ.
And
GL.
Tommyue's got a belated Christmas present here from acero. That was crazy. How did he convince himself that there was a line through that pack of balls for each ball to get the hit on that 3 to get to the 2? It was never ever on at all. The one I was talking about was on almost 100%. Why did he not see that? Well, that's a strange sequence of events there. I'll tell you something. Tommyue is going to have to make hay while the sun shines here, because he has to punish acero for that.
A techie. He thought the 13 went to the 3 because there was a tangent line to it.
Yeah, but there was balls brushing one another and locking one another from the path to get to the hit. It was never on. I don't care in your wildest dreams, that was never. Whatever you see in your imagination is never going to happen when you have a good look at the way these balls are touching one another. That was impossible for that to go in. Absolutely impossible. It was never on. And believe the commentator this time. The commentator's right. The shot I looked at was a far simpler shot. You punched the 6. The 6 had to go in. but he saw something, and he was in cloud cuckoo land there, acero. I think it is late at night, and I think he's been on the sake, because that's the worst shot I've seen him play in this match. But it won't be that bad if Tommyue can't get something done here, and he's now got himself in trouble.
Oh, no worries, I believe you. Just trying to figure out how he was thinking.
Well, that's it. That's got me totally befuddled. I don't know what was going through his head. It was just impossible to get anything out of that shot.
Vince. 6 wasn't going also.
I think it was a bit... Well, let's just agree that my choice of shot was a lot simpler and had a much more likely chance of going in than what he tried to pull out the bag there. I mean, that was a... I mean, you had to be... We're not talking about a street magician. You'd have to be a bloody miracle worker to get that in. Anyway, Tommyue's managed to dig himself out a hole there, but is he going to get something significant here to punish acero for that crazy shot? And Tommyue's had four, how many are we counting? About 4 good chances here where they've all petered out, and it's all to do with the pattern play.
I'm surprised both get so many visits till now.
It's just about not getting that choice of shot right. Now he's going to have to play the cut back, and this is another pressure shot. Looks simple enough, but you know, the cue ball's running into the 3. I'm just always getting the feeling that Tommyue's not 100% under control here, because this cue ball's in awkward situations, and now he's got 3 balls up the table, and they're obviously going to have to be seen to. But let's look at what we have down here. We've got the 13 that's going to go, we've got the 8 that's the break ball, and he'll have a good chance when he goes up to clear those that he can get on that 8.
One pocket slim. At bedhead. I don't have the focus for straight pull, ball after ball. At least in one pocket there's always something new and it breeds creativity. Every position is different.
Well, there are theorists about having 1 ball up the table as an option to get to the break ball, because I still think in Tommyue's situation, how reliable is he going to be at having control of this cue ball to come off one of these 2 balls that's down here to get on that 8? That's my concern here. I think it'd be far easier to get on that 8 ball from the 3 if you're on the right hand side of the table with the cue ball. Now he can do that if he comes either on the low side of the 5 and runs through, or the top side of the 5 as we look, like where he's going now. But this is a lot more difficult now. Well, the other problem is if he's trying to get position in this 8 off the 5 from distance, and that makes it even more difficult. And he's pretty straight as well. That needs to slow down. It needs to slow down. He's going to end up bolt straight almost. He's got a slight angle but not much, and this is where he has to stun it, and it might lock in the pack. He's got to clip the corner if he can, but if he gets too aggressive here, we know what can happen. Well, he's skimmed off it. He's avoided the scratch, and he's got a shot. And now he can work on what's left. He's 13 behind. He's got problem situation with the 14 and the 15 in the bottom rail. He's got a chance off the 6, but you see, this is where you can risk breaking these two right now, but there's other points to be scored first. This is another thing. There's other balls there to be potted, and there's time to get to those two balls. Cue ball running loose. And again, when you're not picking your way through the balls, you're relying on just getting luck to get on a ball. It's never a good ploy. It's not how you get big runs. You can get lucky often enough, but sooner or later you're going to end up with nothing, or you're going to end up in a hole. But it doesn't matter really how he gets it done. What it does matter is that he makes acero stew and he gets his deficit down to 0. I mean, if that was semi-pro that played that attempted combination shot through the pack that acero played, I'd have been roasting him to hell. I would roast acero to hell as well if I could get hold of him and speak Japanese, because that was never on. No way was that ever on, that shot that he thought he saw. Unbelievable. He actually had a blast at that. And that, you know, that is not, in all honesty, it's not giving a great deal of respect for your opponent, in the sense that you don't think he's going to be scoring enough. And that's not, you know, that's a sort of a conclusion I'm coming to here. And if Tommyue can do everything to stay at this table and keep scoring, it's going to make acero pay the price for that rash shot. This is why I say it doesn't matter who you play. You've got to keep your discipline.
Google Translate.
You must keep to a discipline when you're playing a game. Forget who the hell you're playing. You're playing the table. You're playing the lay of the balls. It's up to you to pick your way through them. And if Tommyue can keep to a discipline here, again, he has to now take an option and take a risk. He can cut the 4. I don't think he can do an awful lot off this 11 though. He's going to run into other balls, but he's got to nudge those two there, and he had the option off that cut in the 4. He must find an angle on one of these balls, and he's gone short. He's way short. He should have took the 4 and took a risk in running into them. That was the perfect opportunity to play the little cut in the 4 and just draw the cue ball onto the bottom rail and nudge into the 15. He never took it, and now he's struggling. Cue ball's up the wrong end of the table off this 13. And is he going to try the draw? Because if he ends up on the right side, he's got no shot. And when I say this side here, he's going back across, and that will do is at least a shot in the 10, and he does have the angle to get something done here. Full focus on the pot, because there's going to be a hit of some description. And that will do, and I think he's given himself a chance of a break shot as well, right on the point of that pack if he wants it. But can he get there? Now again, if he can get good in this 15, he can stun the cue ball into the triangle and get down to the kitchen line with a cue ball in hand and give him a good break shot. Let's have a look. Oh, he's dead straight again. Absolutely poker straight. And this is always a troublesome shot to try and get good. I think he's got the pace good though. That's excellent. He's in with a chance. We're all square. 76 points all. The run is 27. Or is he going to get a hit? I think he... This is pretty tight, isn't it?
On pocket slim. NP.
Oh, that's worked out not too bad. I thought I was worried there he was going to be stuck in the pack, but they've opened, they've freed up, and he's got more points for the taking
Be
here.
gentle.
The run is 28 and he's now in the lead, and he's got to drive the message home that he's not to be taken lightly. Oh, now what's he got left here? Well, he's got an awkward shot over the 12, over the 2. He can cut the 10 in. He's not got a problem. I think he can get to the 10 if he wants to. Just a gentle little stunt. If he wants to drop onto the 15. Maybe he's not comfortable with it. I think where he wants to put the Q-tip is blocked off by the 2. I think that's the problem. So he's digging down, but is he going to play a draw or just a wee stunt? That'll do it. Well, if he can just, again, just a little stun up the table, just about 5-6 inches up, he can get on that 7. He's left it a wee bit square, but that's the shot to take just to open things up there. Well, he's looking at the 5, but why is he not dealing with the 7 now, and he can just brush open these balls? He's in a position to do it.
Semi-pro 4. Nice run from Tommy so far.
You see, now he's taking the 7, but he's the wrong side of it. And none of these balls go here. They're all blocking one another. He had that chance. He should have took it. He's playing it with inside to run into them now off the rail. Well, he's landed okay. That's worked out okay. Now let's look at it from this end and see what we have left. We've got a 3 ball as a break ball. That's ideal. So if that's what he's thinking, he has to work around that. He has to look at what options are of getting good on it, and the good option of getting good on it would be the 6 or the 10. Let's see if we can get there. So the run is 34, and remember, this run has come from that miracle attempt by Acero, and how much pain is going to be inflicted by Tommyue? That's the question. and he's come up so far. It's not been pretty, but it's getting there. It doesn't always have to be supposedly textbook, but it's all about just potting balls, building up the score, building up the lead, and applying the pressure. Well, surely he's not going to take the 3. No. Well, the way I see it, he's gone too far inside in the 9. He wanted to stay straight in that. He's now going to have to take other options here. He wanted to be straight in that 9, or whatever the hell ball it is it the 13? So he could roll the 2 into the left middle. He's now going to have to take another route. Because if he could roll that 2 into the left middle there, he could have been up for the 6, and then he would have had an easy shot to get on the 3. This is where picking these balls is so crucial and vital to making it simple to get there. And he's going about it a long way for a shortcut, and he's gone too far again. He's now the wrong side of the 2. I'll tell you what, he's doing his best to make it bloody difficult.
Who are the players you fear or respect most in this tourney?
Well, semi-pro's worst enemy is yourself, I think. It's all in the head. Especially when the old sphincter muscle starts tightening up when you get in one of them matches. Well, I don't know what he's going to do here. I mean, the 2 is not a difficult cut into the middle and going around the corner and coming up the table for the 6. And he's overcut it by the country mile, and it's all gone wrong. And it's all gone wrong because of those last 3 or 4 shots and how his pattern was going to get out. So the run ends in 39, and it should have been more. And if only he had picked his way through those in the right way. Got wrong side of the 9, and that was the vital one, because that then scuppered him. And I think Acero can get the 2. Oh dear, there we go, it's happened again. The big draw, and the big draw straight into the pocket. Well, Tommyue has been given another Christmas present by acero.
Semi-Pro 4. No player should fear any player. It's what you got on the table is what you deal with, as the opponent can't do anything when you're at the table and vice versa. Semi-Pro 4. Not much I can do when I'm not at the table.
Right, how about this shot? For getting good on the 3. I mean, it doesn't look difficult. He might want to put a wee bit of inside on it if he's coming up.
Semi-Pro 4. Should also respect all players you play against, no matter what ability they are.
Well, this is not to be trifled with. Just get the safety. Run for cover.
B11 TME. Hi everyone.
Good afternoon, Keith. Well done. You got over the line. I tried to use the link that Mr. Fox gave us last night. Or when I was on his stream, I copied the link, and then when I pasted it, it doesn't show the match because he's got it as unlisted, so I couldn't watch the bloody end of it.
It often feels like you're playing yourself in straight. Own worst enemy. One Pocket Slim. Carrot. Restream.io. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Well, Tommyue in again. He's square in the 15. Now if he just runs through past the 6, he's got the 3 into this opposite middle pocket. He doesn't need to do any miracle shots here, just drop the 15 in and drop through for the 3. If he gets a good angle in the 3, he can open the pack. That's a shot. He doesn't need to be running around the corner now into the table and doing something spectacular. It might be that he's got too much angle, but if he drops it in soft, he should still have the 3 into a hole somewhere. Oh, he's chickened out. He's chickened out big time. You've got to get the shot in the hole. And you could see that he wasn't enthusiastic about getting there. And he's forgot about potting the ball. You've got to pot the ball first. And acero has been left the shot I was talking about. He's looking at it because he can play the combo off the 15 into the middle with the 6 ball. He's got that, but I think this is too much of an enticement to just get a little break. And these again could have all been yours, Tommy. You don't choke in a shot. You've got to hold your nerve. That's the one thing you've got to do, is go through with a shot and play it positively to get there, rather than bottling out on it. Well, acero has a deficit to make up. Oh, that's gone wrong. That cannon has killed the cue ball, and acero's going to have to make the cut in the 9 because he's got no other choice. Absolutely nothing doing for him. And of course he's going to run across into balls here. Oh, and it's caught the knuckle. And again, this is Tommyue's 3rd Christmas present from acero. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you include the 2 balls on the right hand side, he's got 8 points here as a free gift. That's what he should be concerning himself with straight away. He's got an 11 ball. Let's have a look. I don't think, no, he hasn't. I thought the 11 ball would go, so that's blocked off. But he can worry about that later on. He's got these points to be taken here. I think he's dead straight. Yep. Now if he pinches a bit of an angle, yeah, he's managed to nudge the 12. Has he still got a shot? Yes, he does. Now he's still got to be careful with these next 2 balls, because at some point very soon he needs something that's going to improve the situation in the middle of the pack here. Now that 13 again, he's got a very slight angle. He doesn't want to try and pinch too much, and he also doesn't want to skim off these and scratch. It's very dangerous. Well, he's got it solid, and that will do. And now he's back in business. And he's got a break ball. Again, the 1 ball at the head of the pack is perfect for dropping onto the 8 ball. In an emergency bailout, he's got the 9 up the table, but in all honesty, he should be getting rid of the 9 and concern himself with these balls down here and where the 1 is, because that's the ideal ball to get. That you want a ball that's adjacent to to the break ball if you can, because it just makes it so much simpler with a lot less movement to control where the cue ball's going to give you that line off the break ball. Now this shot here is also critical because he doesn't want to block himself off with the 8. That's a failure. If he does that, it's dangerous, this shot. Okay, if he goes through the far side, he's got the 1 into the left middle, but he wants to be getting rid of this 14, and he has to control the pace. It needs to bounce. Well, that's not bad. It's a wee bit of a cutback, but again, I don't think he wants to. See, the 1 is only going to get into a few of these pockets here. Does he want to do anything with the cue ball? I'd be more inclined to just check this a wee bit with some left hand side so that I can go at the rail and come out a bit and square up. Oh, he's done the old stun into the middle. Well, we've seen it 100 times now. We've saw a potential run just fritter away, finding these pockets. It's so easy. But the lead is 20. The visit was just 8. It was a tricky little set-up there when you're committed to the 8 ball, trying to land nice on that 14. Finished a wee bit square, and it just meant he had to do a bit more with that cue ball to try and find a way to get on the 1. I think even the shot I was talking about was still a bit too square to be playing it with a wee bit of check to run to the rail, because you can see the path the cue ball took anyway. It was always heading very close to the middle. So that's another chance gone, and Acero's chance to get a break. Well, he's going to have to go off the side rail. Now, the match has been on for, well, just short, a couple of minutes short of 90 minutes, and he's missed them completely, and it's a sigh of relief for Tommyue, because there's been no big impact made on that deficit, just 3 points. Now this is where Tommy needs to be careful. You've got to just take that wee bit of time just to study what you're doing, so you're leaving it the minimum amount of damage, and that's a good shot. Yeah, there's nothing there. That's a good one, but he can punch the 11, but he doesn't want to brush that 7 out. If he does that, he's got to keep this cue ball tight. See, the 7's into play. He's left the cut. The bait is there for Tommyue. The cut down the rail. Well, I think he's got to take this. And he needs to watch the cue ball. He's going to struggle for his next shot though, even if he pots this 7. Because there's not a lot available. In fact, very little, if anything's going to be available when he plays this. Now he could cut this and dig right into the cue ball to come back the way and nudge stuff. But like I said, if he doesn't, he'll not have a lot. But I think he might have that 13. Well, the 13's got to go. Surely he can get to the potting angle in that 13. Or is he playing the bank? Yeah. Is he playing it off the 14? Is that what he's doing? Good shot. We haven't seen many of them in this tournament. The little carom shot and off the 14 ball. So Tommyue is 50 from home and building up this little lead again. Now the 9 ball is a good ball to get rid of if he wants to, and also just open the remaining balls there. If he gets rid of the 9, that opens the 6, but the 3's in the way, so he's taking the 3. If he comes off the rail, let's have a look. No, none of them go from that side, so how's he finished on the 3? Well, he's trying to nudge him out from there. He's still got 2 balls of a problem, but again, none of them are a problem if you just want to drop down the bottom side and take one of them up into the top pocket. There are options there without having to disturb these 2 balls, but it all hinges on getting below them. He's got a chance now. Maybe not, because he's dead straight in the 8. And the more these balls disappear, the more that those 2 balls become a problem. Well, he's nudged them, and that's the problem dealt with. That's good to see. Now, have we settled on a break ball? We've got the 8 ball is the prime candidate where it's sitting, and once again, with that ball lying up the middle of the table, it's a good ball to make it easier to get on the 8. Now, from where he is now, if he makes his mind up that that's what he's going to do, he's going to have a far better chance of getting there and actually completing the job in this rack. If he's still muddled up in the head and still not finding lines to get good in these balls, then it might all end up going tits up, as they say. So it's going to be the 10 ball up to the 11. Is that the 11? Keeps looking at the 13 to me. It's the 11. Well, this is a sort of half draw stun shot up the left hand side, far enough up the table. It's a little draw, a soft draw, but a stun where it just the spin catches it and draws it up the table past that left middle pocket. If he starts going forward and running, that's never a better way to control the cue ball. The little draw off this 10 and a deep draggy draw, if that's how to describe it, where that spin reacts and just spins it and stuns it up the table, more or less square. I don't know, maybe he's got more angle than it looks. Well, he's got a bit more angle. See, he's not got there. He's not gone through with the shot. He had to dig into that. And now he's left it difficult. Now he's worried about the middle pocket. And he might take his eye off the pot. This is vital. And he doesn't want to go too straight on the 8. He might be able to go 2 rails here and get back out into the table. Far side rail, back over to this rail and back out. Well, he's trying to cheat it too much. He's ended up dead straight anyway, so he wouldn't have had much out of that. And acero, well, the visit ends in 12, and acero on 81 has got a margin to make up. So now acero is going to have to start doing the hard work, and this is where it starts. He's got the break shot, and these balls should open up. Oh dear, another mistake by acero. And what's he left? Well, he's left a fairly simple combo here anyway. This can't be missed. As long as you line up the 5, you cannot miss that 4 ball. A blind man with a wooden leg and one arm is going to pot that. Even I could pot that. Well, has acero played his last shot? Because it certainly wasn't memorable. Well, he's played
Bedhead_sweat. Acero not getting it done.
A very poor break ball, a very poor break shot. Missed the 8 ball by the country mile. And it just goes to show you, when you start taking liberties and trying to create something out of nothing, with that shot they had earlier on in the match there, that combination shot through the pack that was never there, things are backfiring on him big time. And Tommyue just has to be careful and pick these off, score as much as he can. All the time he's doing that, it just puts more pressure on acero, and I think acero there with that 8 ball, you know, he's coming to the table, he's got a deficit to make up, and straight away the pressure has told on him, and it's only going to get worse the longer that Tommyue stays here at this visit. He needs 35 more balls to go marching on the one loss side. Well, I would be taking that. I'd be taking the 6 ball and leaving the 11, because he's on the 6 ball and it just opens that up. He's taking the 2. I'd be taking the 6 now, and no I won't, because I'm locked up in the 15, absolutely gelled to it. So now he's having to queue over the 15 for the 9, but he should have taken the 6. That makes your mind up when you're on that ball that's, you know, adjacent to another ball like that. You want to get rid of one of them, and he was on it in the previous shot and ignored it. And he's got lucky that that 9 ball was there, because if that 9 ball wasn't there, he'd absolutely jack. He had nothing. And so now we've got these 2 balls sitting here, and both of them are in the triangle, which is another problem. Now if he's thinking in his feet here and he pots one of them as a last ball, it might be, if he can get good, he can nudge the other into play, but he's got a better chance of doing that off the 15. This shot here, if he gets the 15 and he drops through in the 6 with a little angle, well, he's the wrong side of it. He could have nudged the 11 and just put it into play and take it out the triangle. So now it's going to be the 12 ball. That's made our minds up. How he's yet to get good on this second last ball. He's never been great on this second last ball to get good on the break ball. And this is another chance to get it right this time. He's either ended up bolt straight or nothing at all. And is he going to be short? Yeah, he's short again by a fair margin. Okay, it can still cut, but I mean, this is just a wee bit more than you want. But it could be the vital break that could win him the match, because he's what, 26 points away, I think, if I can count. So this is vital. Guaranteed he's hitting the pack. It's all about the pot. Now he's got no shot clock because it's the first shot in the next rack, so he's got plenty of time to settle himself. There's no rush. Well, that will do, and a bonus ball going in as well.
Cobra 4.
And he's got
Hi
the 6.
everyone.
Well, you've joined at the right time, Cobra. He's got the 6. He's got the 3. He can just a little soft screw off that 3 or a little stun onto the 7, and he's on the 8 or he's on the 7. Well, Acero's last 2 main visits have been shockers. So they have. They really have been. And, you know, he may well pay the ultimate price because of them. He's let Tommyue not only back in, but building up a lead again. And he's coming around the final turn here with about 2 furlongs to go, or if you want to use F1 terms, he's coming to the last couple of corners and the checkered flag is out. The only thing that can happen now is a puncture. There are 6 punctures in this table, or in this track. It's a question of whether he can avoid them. He's 20 away. The run goes to 20, and it's going to be a tall order whatever happens for Acero to come to the table and hold his nerve and run out to save this match and to save his participation in this tournament. All of these 3 points here for Tommyue. Good break shot. Ball's wide open. He couldn't ask for a better position. Now, what have we got here? We've got nothing much doing here as far as break balls go. The 11 ball is just outside it. It could do. It's pretty tight though. And now he's out of line. And whatever one he plays here is slightly awkward. He's got the awkward cut. The 2 isn't very inviting because he's right over the 11. But if he watched 9ball.com's tip of the day video, he would know he can use his W key and he can use the shaft to aim at that 2 ball and pot it easily. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be jacking the cue up, use the W key to line it back, and then use the shaft of the cue to line the cut angle in that too, and it makes it much easier to play the cut. Plus the fact you can cheat the pocket a fair bit as well. But I think he's settled in the one. That'll do. It just drops in off the jaw. And he's still in play. And now is he going to avoid that 11? Now once again, the ideal ball this time to get on that 11 good is the 2. And he's nudged the 11 and he's nudged it well away from the pack. Oh, that's another cardinal sin he's just committed there. Because now he's going to have to go possibly inside the 11. Now is his alternate shot like that, so that he can cut it and catch the pack, catch those last 2 balls like there to get a decent break. But he's now got too much angle in the 9. He just cannot find
a techie.
This
It's
line.
still okay. Everything within the line from the top of the triangle to the lower point of the middle pocket is okay.
It's all about how good he can get on this 11. Now that is inside, and that is pretty nigh perfect. I don't think he could have played that any better. Right at the time that he needs to play a couple of good shots. The break ball in the last rack and the break ball in this rack can win him the match. He's what is he now? 38, 40. He's 12 away. A run of 28. And that has worked out very nice. Now, this is where you just assess the situation. You look at the scoreboard and you've got 11 points to get. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before you have to start worrying about nudging something, because these balls don't go this side. But there are 9 points there as a free gift. That's where you concentrate. If you can get good on a ball that gives you a chance to nudge the balls that you need, then fine, you play it. But you pick off what's there. You don't try to do anything elaborate unless you have the opportunity to do it, but pick them off. That little nudge there will do very nice if he's got a shot. Well, the 13 goes. He's looking at playing a combo, but as he actually looked at the pot, you can get a bus in there on that 13 ball. It's a bit tight with the angle, but it will go no problem. But he's playing the combo in the 10, he's looking at it. And then it goes. Nice little pace. And the 6 ball goes. And if you can just drop through gentle. Can he take that? No, it's a bit tight. So he needs 7 balls. And this is exactly what you want to be doing when you're given that chance off that poor break shot by acero. If you can stay at the table and run out, it drives the point home, and acero will be kicking himself. I wouldn't have thought a player like acero would ever have attempted that combo, which was never a combo. I would never ever thought he would have played something like that in this tournament. And that, combined with the break shot that he had on that 8 ball, have done him. He's dead and buried. He is no longer. He is a former player in this tournament, because Tommyue is going to take this out with a run out. Anywhere in the middle of the table, he'll be on the 12 if he comes across. He doesn't want to lock himself in the 5 like that. Oh dear. Well, who was it that said that somebody got 198, then missed, and then the other player came in and got 200 and run out?
A techie.
Oh dear.
Juck was me, tongue poking smiley.
Oh well. Is he playing the bank or is he playing the cut? He's playing the bank. So this to send Acero to breakfast. I think that's not going to go. Oh, it is going to go. It cheated a pocket, and it's a run of 40, and it's been a bit dodgy here and there, but he's held his nerve, and he's taken the match out. He's taken it out.
Sting to be out after only one real loss.
And well, he's paid the price. I think he didn't deserve to go through with the shots that we saw him play, and Tommyue deservedly wins by 150 points to 82, and acero is gone. And well, that was a shocker of a shot, I have to say, and he got everything he deserved out of that, which was nothing from those 2 shots. And Tommyue marches on. So we'll have a quick look at the bracket and see how that shapes up on the one loss side, if I can find my little cursor. Where are we? Let's run it down from the top to the bottom in the one loss side, just so we see where we are. We've got Ice Age to play Chris. The good news
Tommy
for them
Priester.
is that
Thanks for stream, Hugh. Taoist Nomad. Tommy took much more time over each shot than acero.
yeah, well, you have to settle yourself. You've got to
Taoist
get yourself
Nomad.
set for each shot.
WD Tommy.
So the good news for Ice Age and Chris is that they play Bedhead next, whoever gets through. We've got Tommyue is sitting there. He can have the new year off, because he's going to have a little wait before he finds his next opponent, or his next victim, I should say. I always thought acero had a fair chance in this tournament, but I'll tell you something, he's let me
Tommy
down big
Priester.
time there.
Thanks.
Big time let down, so he is. Well done, Tommy. We've got VP Monster waiting on the winner of 9 Black and Dirties. We have Biggs to play Sergeresh to see who plays McClarkey. And further down we've got Squirter against Gung Ho. That probably end up in a forfeit. I don't know what will happen with that match. But they're waiting to play Fast Eddie, who should be favourite to go through there. We've got Fuldrish, who, along with McClarkey and I think Tommyue, have got a fair wait to find out who they're going to be playing next. We've got LS3 waiting to play. Well, in fact, hang on a minute here. We've got Fantastic Mr. Fox waiting on a bye. How does that work out? I don't know. Somebody can explain that to me later. We've got Popman set to play Sylvia on the last day of the year at 3 PM. I'll be there for that one. And the winner of that match will play Dirty Harry. We've got Mr. Bill to play Chiku on the one loss side, and over on the winner's side, let's catch up with that from top to bottom. We have Albinario is through after his win against McClarkey, And of course Albinario run out with 6-9 to win that match, which again, you know, the cream comes to the top at the end of the day, and he produced the goods when it mattered. And he will play the winner of Snake Eyes and Larry, which should be a good match. But I have to say, Larry's going to have to step it up. If he's going to be in contention, he's going to have to get his act together, because Snake Eyes is going to be scoring points, no doubt about that. We've got Keith set to play Cobra, so it's an all UK battle that we're going to have there. That'll be a good match. We've got Stubb against Mark Shark. We have Bankster already through to play Hazard, and I think we've got Semi-Pro against Fan Wanwa, whatever that might be, and of course the winner of that match will be playing Mooncake, which should be another good fight. So there's some good matches now lining up on the winner's side, and well, the next one that is scheduled is going to be in a few days' time, and that'll be the one with Sylvia and Popman, and I'll be there for that, and I hope you can join me, guys. So how long did that match last? The best part of 2 hours, almost raced 150. So with that, I am going to go and get my dinner, and thank you for your company. Thanks for joining, guys, and remember, if ever you miss a match, it'll always be on YouTube if you want to go and catch up, or if somebody else asks you how did the match go, you can tell them to go to my YouTube channel, be able to watch it. And I will see you again soon, so take care, stay safe, wear your mask and whatever else, and I'll see you again soon.